Welcome back to Getting Started this autumn, number 16. And for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be looking at setting assessments. And then the next week after that, we'll be looking at marking them. This is a recap slide from number 4 in this series. What you want to do is think about 3 areas. The first one is the pass-fail threshold. Below that, you want to spend as little time as possible. If you can engineer it so that most of your students pass, that's great, but you don't want to spend time agonizing over whether they got a fail or 1 mark more, but was still a fail. You probably want to put them into one of 2 buckets, one of which is a redeemable fail and one of which is a pretty poor fail. Above that, you want to be able to place them with confidence between grade boundaries. And then you don't want to spend time marking once you've decided that you've discovered what a student's limits are. So if you can set things up so that the pass-fail piece is actually removed from the final assessment, and that if they can pass the coursework, they pass the exam, you can make life a lot easier for yourself. So let's think about the pass-fail threshold. What you need to be able to do is to take your learning outcomes, as we've described earlier, and to express them in pass-fail terms. So if you've got a sort of a fairly open-ended learning outcome, like to be able to select and apply any appropriate method, you may want to restrict that at pass-fail level just to be able to select appropriately one of 3 methods that have been taught and to apply it competently. One of the things that people have said to me as I've been putting these slide sets up and running them as posts is, well, what does it really mean in practice? And so I'm really grateful to Maya Cangasperco and to Griselda Gonzalez Caminal for allowing me to use some research that they did with a group of students in the physiotherapy area to produce a set of competences, and from those a set of learning outcomes. And we'll be unpacking that over the next few posts. But basically, we've got a module here which is looking at improving clinical reasoning. It was co-designed and co-developed, and as such is a big step forward. And it's part of the European Network for Physiotherapy and Higher Education's attempts to unify the way in which teaching is done across Europe.
Hello, my name is Griselda Gonzalez, and on behalf of Maya Cangasperco and myself, I'm just going to shortly introduce the course that will serve as an example today for Terry's presentation. BleClirc Course is a course structured in 4 levels, from novice to competent level, and it aims on improving clinical reasoning competencies for physiotherapy students. The course was generated in a project developed during seminars and congresses held by the European Network of Physiotherapy in Higher Education. This network brings together students and teachers, which allows to really collaborate together. So in this environment, we use a co-creation approach to develop, to design, and to pilot the materials and the contents of the complete course we are going to present.
So what we're aiming for at this stage is to set up the coursework in such a way that you are assessing all of the must-have learning outcomes at pass-fail level. So if there are things that are non-negotiable, put them into the pass-fail assessment, and all of the things that need to be assessed, make sure that the student who's passed this assessment will have demonstrated that they've passed each learning outcome at the pass-fail level. And one of the things that we have done is to look at having the coursework set up in such a way that students who pass the coursework pass the module as a whole. So Maya and Griselda ran this experiment. They involved students, a very interactive way of doing things, and they had a look at some of the skills, the physiotherapy expert, the communicator skills, the professional skills required, and they divided those down by competence and derived from those a set of learning outcomes. And it was at this stage that we started to think about how one might apply some of the ideas that we're talking about today at this level. So the big question is, how do we turn a competence sheet into a grading system? And that's the thing that we're going to look at next time. It's not straightforward, but it's not brain surgery either. So I'm available. Here are my coordinates. Love to hear from you.